12 o'clock, brought to you by Wisdom Yard Television. I am Odunayo Adelere, and I am here in the studio with...
I'm Ambassador Rochimilua. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching WYTV. It's Let's Talk. We do nothing but to talk. We talk to educate, we talk to informate.
You know, this is a platform where we talk, and not just talking, we talk reasonable talks. We give informations that would help you, that would help us as well. So you're welcome to another edition. We want to appreciate our sponsor, Nokpa Abals, for always coming through for us. And do not forget that we are on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, on YouTube, on X account, on TikTok, on Instagram, at Wisdom Yard Online TV. You can as well join the community on 070101085549. Send in your invite. Let me add you to the community group. So, you know, like you said, this is a platform whereby we talk to educate, to communicate, to give you informations, and not just sit down and talk. We talk on trendy matters, on entertainment, on politics, education, marital life, whatever you feel you want to know. You can just drop in the comment section and let's deal with the topic you want us to talk on about. Today's we'll be talking about what is currently going on in Nigeria. Looking at what Nigeria is presently going through, what Nigerians are going through, and somebody coming out saying Nigerians are now beggars due to palliatives, that the federal government has turned Nigerians to beggars. And I'm kind of asking the question, how true is this? Are Nigerians really beggars, or this person is just exaggerating?
Let me tell you this, the truth must be told. It is nothing but the real truth. Okay. Since this government APC came on board, I could remember the 16 years of APC, right from the period of the ex-president.
APC or PDP?
Oh, sorry, the PDP. Okay. Right from the ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo. Number one, there was a reform in the faces of the country. Okay. And when you look at Obasanjo's regime, Obasanjo was not tribal. He had to make the development go round. As he was in the north, likewise in the south, likewise in the east. And what the Yoruba kept on saying was that Obasanjo was not an ethnic man. In the sense that their expectation in the Yoruba land was so high to the extent in which they really felt disappointed in Obasanjo.
Is it that they wanted him to do more?
More in the land of Yoruba. Okay. But Obasanjo had to let the development go round. And when you look at the regime of the PDP then, okay, it was then that the book of remembrance was opened unto those teachers. Do you know how many teachers that are out there, even to afford that can now afford of paying a single room house rent then? During Obasanjo's regime was when teachers started buying cars, building house. Wow. Then, before the regime of Yaradua.
That one was short.
Yaradua only spent almost 6 months. Yaradua was the first president to bring the price of petrol down. Then after Yaradua, the turn of Goodluck Jonathan. Okay. How many of the Nigerians have you ever seen them begging for food?
No.
How many of the Nigerians then have you ever seen roaming about the street?
The percentage was low.
How many of Nigerians comes out to protest against Jonathan and say this hardship is too much?
It is those in power.
It is those in power
that did it.
That triggered the protest then. Now, since APC came on board during the period of Muhammadu Buhari, do you know the funniest part of it was that Buhari sold the crude of Nigeria up front, which means we are going to supply crude oil out of this country for good 3 years without being paid any amount of money.
That's huge.
You don't get what I'm saying?
That is huge.
Now, when you look at the period of Muhammadu Buhari, they said PDP stole Nigerian wealth. Okay. Stole Nigerian money. Do you know how many dollars that were recovered from the graveyard, from the Koyi prison?
Inside the septic tank and all that.
At the end of the day, what was the money used for? Yeah. During the period of Muhammadu Buhari, do you know how much that was refunded to Nigeria from the stolen money? Abacha loot.
We can't count.
What was the money used for? The money has been divided.
No record of it.
Now, when Tinubu came on board, the whole thing escalated. This is the government that have seen that have reduced Nigeria into beggars. You see people scooping rice from the soil, from the soil. You see people, the people of the so-called country that you govern, running after a moving truck that was conveying food items
Just to smuggle it.
Just to smuggle it.
It is the rate at which this poverty has so eaten up into Nigerians now is that even when you see a vehicle conveying food,
you see the way people running after those vehicles.
It's not even that.
They turn the whole Nigerians into beggars. They inject poverty into the system of the so-called people they govern.
I'm sorry, sir. Let's assume this Nigeria is actually a good place for everybody to live, whereby when something happens, you can call on anybody. I'm trying to come in the aspect of whereby a truck is conveying food item, drinks or anything, and this thing decide to, let's say it ran into an accident, it met with an accident
on the road.
If the country were to be a better place,
country, what could have happened?
We are supposed to go there, like help them pack their things. But now
look for another vehicle to convey those goods to where to the destination of those goods. But now let me tell you, even if the vehicle did not have an accident, if the vehicle was moving, probably the vehicle ran into an old up. Go and see what is going to happen to the vehicle.
Smuggling and all that. Now,
Dangote, one of these Dangote truck was conveying, I think it was flour.
Okay.
Along the eastern part of the country. What happened? It was vandalized.
It was hijacked.
People cut away all the flowers that was inside the truck, almost 800 bags of flour.
Do you know
during the regime of this APC, you could see that the APC government is the worst government that we ever had in the history of Africa.
Now
in the history of Nigeria, sorry.
Let's sorry, I know, because the thing is kind of eating you up, so you need to pour out your mind. Now let's look at it in this aspect. Now, if it were to be the poor masses that are going through this thing alone, we would have said probably it is one-sided. But if you would agree with me, both the rich and the poor are actually facing it squarely in Nigeria. The set of people that are enjoying now in this regime are those that are in politics. Those that are supporting them.
That are closer to them. Not every one of them that supported them.
Those that are supporting them.
At the federal level, not at the grassroots. When you go to the grassroots, most of the members that were so-called APC that came out with broom, vote APC, this is our party, that will take Nigeria to the next level, let's save ourselves from the agony of the future of this country that may lead us into an exile. Those set of people now, sir, they cannot come out and campaign and say APC is the best government.
What was wrong with those set of people? Let me put it this way, because if we look at these politicians, they know the set of people to use at a particular time.
When the campaign is around.
So I just believe this set of people should be the people that should wisen up.
Let me tell you this.
There is no how. They will come.
Let me tell you this. They will never wisen up. You see, the system of the so-called country, the system of this Nigeria, they have so much inject poverty into the system to the extent in which you cannot go against the words of your let me say the authority of your political master. A political master that will tell you that your brother that you are from the same family is your closest enemy, or because your brother is not in the same party with you, that they will bring you up to go and they will raise you to go and kill your brother because he's not in the same party with you. Look at what you had a speech of Oni of Ife when there was a conference meeting in
Abuja. The Obas.
Yes. When he said to them categorically that when politics is around now, when campaign is around, it is this set of people that you are going to give gun that they begin to move around while you people stay at home. This set of people, when they comes around, what they believe was that when there is a campaign, when there is the election is around the corner, they will come and say, okay, this is what we want to, this is the amount of money we are going to give to you. When they give it to them, they are working for their money. After the work of the money, for instance, now you went out to go and hire a laborer. You call the laborer, this is my farm, this is what I want you to do. You both negotiated. How much are you going to collect? Okay, my wages for today is nothing less than 20,000 naira. After the work, you paid him. Tomorrow, will you say you are going to pay the laborer again?
No,
I'll pay you off. Not until when you have any other job
to give
the person. Well, the person says, because I work for you, you paid me, tomorrow you will not call me. I didn't mean you gave him the job, you didn't pay him, now tomorrow you may call the person may not answer you.
The person coming out to state that the federal government is turning Nigerians into beggars is actually a prominent person.
Yes, it's Afe Balola, it's not just ordinary person. And nobody is coming out to antagonize. Exactly the point.
Because it is
Let me
what
tell you
is
this.
happening.
Have you ever seen in the history of this so-called PDP bringing palliatives, moving around, giving them palliatives. No, it has never happened. It is during the, I don't know who gave the president the advice, and I believe the president should have been wise enough. He said he has been serving them for the past 30 years. Nobody ever thought of that statement that the man turn was to be served, not for him to come and serve Nigeria.
Sir, you think nobody thought about it? Some set of people came out and they said they were just little children. They know nothing about politics. Now, I'm not trying to bring in that youth or anything. But now, when somebody came on board and said, this is somebody, let's say we have like 3 candidates now that are contesting for the post. One person came and told us he's going to do the refinery, he's going to do the road. Another person came and told us he's going to do health sector. And another person came out and said, I have served you people long enough.
Long enough.
It is my time to be served.
To be served, though.
Sir, don't you think something is faulty?
You see, let me tell you this. The conscience of our people will never open, not until most of them realize themselves. If you don't discover, you will never recover.
You have to discover.
You have to discover yourself before you recover your lost goods. Because if you don't discover,
everything just keep on getting
everything will, exactly the point. Let me tell you this. You saw it in the Bible. You read the story about Jonah. When Jonah was in the ship together with the merchandise, what happened? There was a great storm. They started catching away all their goods, everything in the ship.
They did not know the source of the problem.
The storm was still there. Not until when they realized the source of that problem. They had to take away. They discovered the storm of. They discovered their problem. They had to take away the problem. After taking away the problem, what happened? There was a calm. Not until when we discover ourselves, then we begin to recover this country back. Because when a politician comes around and begin to throw one pieces of Indomie, then a Congo of rice, a Congo of this, and you say to the politician, sir, what is this for? You said we are coming. This is just the beginning.
The beginning of what?
The beginning. This is just the beginning. We are still coming for more. And you come categorically and stand before him and say, to hell with you and your children.
And your rice.
To hell with you and your children. What happens? Automatically, we discovered ourselves.
If you are able to, as citizens, if we are able to look into their faces when it comes to the time of election and told them, now, we are not voting in your palliative, we are not voting in your money, we want to vote our conscience. I think these people would know that Nigerians are already wise enough. But where we are presently, I don't think Nigerians are ready to wisen up.
Let me tell you this. One of the problems we have in this country is godfatherism.
Yeah.
If godfatherism still exists in the face of this country, in Africa, Nigeria can never move on. Because all those godfatherism were those that we select. Look at what happened in Lagos here. During the period of Ambode, they said, okay, Ambode was voted in. What happened? Ambode said to those that are working with him, you see, this set of people are my people.
Okay.
They are the one that willingly voted me into this power. There wouldn't be anything of intimidation, victimization, forcefully receiving money from them. VIO, road safety, I don't want you on the road. Task force, all this, I don't want you on the road. Then, let me tell you this. Did the Lagosians, did they misbehave?
No.
Is there any record that, okay, because of this law that forbid all these task forces, makes those Lagosians to misbehave?
No.
Nothing like that. But what is the issue? What's the problem that he's having? The problem of the godfatherism that brought him to be their candidate and say, okay, oh, this is what we want. Exactly what is happening in River State.
That's between Wike.
That's between Wike. Wike could come out. Where did he get the money from? You see, Nigeria will never rise, not until we discover ourselves. We will never rise to our responsibility, not until we discover ourselves. When we came out and say, okay, those candidates, they don't have money to purchase their funds. That he was the one single-handedly that purchased those funds for them. And the agreement was that the 10% of the income of that state should be channeled to his own purse. Who does that?
Not even the person's salary. That is income, the state
income of that state, and their political loyalists never see anything wrong.
No, they
in the statement, on the statement that Wike uttered out, they still go ahead and say, okay, Wike is the man
of the people.
Of the people. Which man of the people? The ruiners of that state. Likewise, that is exactly what happened in Lagos State. in the second tenure, you know the president made mention of something when there was an accusation against him that you were the one that says somebody will not go. He said it was the choice of the people.
Which people?
Which people?
Who are the people?
The same set of people that hail somebody that say, okay, carry on. We love your job. Or the same set of people that believe it is their turn for them to embezzle the money of the state and they are unable to get what they demanded from. Which people?
Thank you so very much, sir. Before we continue, I actually said at the beginning of this that it is actually a company that is sponsoring this program, and the company is Nokpa About. Before we continue into the whole story, Nigerians are now begging treaties. Let's go on a short commercial break. When we'll come back, we'll continue from where we stop. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When life breaks into the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. Your family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Herbal Mixture, your family's best bet.
With Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
Nokpa for management of power.
You're welcome back from that short commercial break. That is our sponsor, Nokpa. Remember to adorn your health with herbal, because health is wealth. So like we were discussing, now the person that actually came out to make the statement that federal government is turning Nigerians into beggar is a prominent person, like we said, Afe Babalola, not just an ordinary person. Now a legal luminary and founder of Afe Babalola University, Chief Afe Babalola San, you see I'm laying emphasis on that word, San, has criticized the federal government for distributing food palliatives, arguing that it is it's an eyesore now. Why would you start distributing it? It's turned Nigerians into beggar. Speaking during a visit from the Prestige Sisters League, Babalola expressed concern over the country's worsening hunger and insecurity, noting that many have abandoned their farms out of fear. Now they are distributing food palliatives. If the set of food that they are distributing finishes,
what will that solve?
I'm going to say, if the set of food you are distributing now, it finishes in the next 1 week, are you still going to come back
And begin to do what kind
Why not teach them how to fish
let me tell
rather
you this.
than giving them fish?
You see, the number one priority of any president of a state is the safety of lives and property. The rest,
It's just an attachment.
it's just an attachment and an addition. When you find a goat that died in a yam barn,
Okay, sir.
it doesn't die of hunger.
Why will you die? Why will the goats die of hunger?
I think you know this yam barn that our forefathers were they preserved their and a wise man who died at the backyard of a foolish man. Something is fishing.
A wise man
Who died at the backyard
of a foolish man.
Something is fishing.
Wow.
When you look at the system of this so-called APC, let me tell you this. I saw a post where I think Wale Edun came out to have said, okay, the problem of Nigeria that the Northerners should go back to Buhari and go and ask them and go and ask Buhari what he did when Buhari was in power. That Buhari sold out the crude oil of this country up front for 2 years, and they are going to supply crude oil without collecting money. And Buhari cannot be persecuted because Buhari is in APC.
Join APC and your sins
automatically, that is politics of sentiment.
Okay.
Join APC, your sin is forgiven. These are the statement that was being made by
Adams
Oshiomhole. Then now, if Wale do, I don't think this set of people edit their words. Maybe they don't have an editor that will help them edit those words, because before coming out to say those things, you people that are in power, Tinubu was the one who brought Buhari, that says Buhari is the right candidate that will change the face of the country. Now Tinubu is in power. What happened when Tinubu was in power now? What happened? Nigeria reduced into beggars, scooping foods from the hot pot.
What you said you don't think they edit their words. They do. What they have is, we say it. If we say it, who is going to?
Do you know, during the period of Muhammadu Buhari, when you are cooking your soup, you forgot something in your room.
In your room before you come out.
Before you come out, what happens to the pot of food?
It's gone.
It's gone. There was nothing like that during the period of
Jonathan or you.
You don't understand what I'm saying. And this set of people, because of political propaganda, I was so marveled and I was so ashamed of my brother from Ekiti, the ex-governor of Ekiti State, Fayemi, when he said, when Jonathan remove the fuel subsidy.
Wow.
That they knew he was on the right path.
Yeah.
But they had to campaign against Jonathan so they will have access to Aso Rock.
Wow.
Automatically, you played the life of the people with politics, and nobody has ever seen anything wrong in this. And when Fashola was on board, one day, Fashola came on a campaign, and he said, a government that cannot produce power for its people within 6 months is not worth being in power.
He said
Fashola,
forgetting that
yes, he has forgotten. When Fashola got there, there was a trap that was set before him.
That's the definition of what goes around.
What goes around comes round. Fashola was made the Minister of Housing, Power, Road, I think 4 portfolio.
How many persons?
Before he was reduced into 2. Because they knew Fashola might have had an ambition of becoming the president in future. 4 portfolio was given to you. You cannot handle each well. So you that cannot handle 4 portfolio will not handle the affairs of the country. Now Fashola spent 8 years.
And the light was not
being
stable.
The Minister of Power, and the light
was not stable.
Was not stable. Buhari said, when Jonathan said he has spent so billions naira on power, where is the power?
There is no power.
There is no power.
Yeah, I think that word was said by President Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo, not Muhammadu Buhari.
Buhari said it in his own interview also.
Okay.
Buhari said it. I watch it. Buhari said it.
But I think I still remember that of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Now, back to what Afe Babalola is saying now, saying that Nigerians have now been reduced to beggars. So he said, those who are complaining about hunger are doing so sincerely.
Let me ask you,
sir,
how many urgent 2K have you received today? Tell the whole world. Let the whole world hear it.
I can't count.
You can't count. Today alone, no, not to talk of yesterday. I was showing you a message of somebody yesterday who met me on Facebook, on the social media.
I didn't know the person
request. I just accepted you. She sent a friend request, hoping that, okay, I appreciate what you are doing. I saw your post. I don't know. All of a sudden, 5 minutes later, sir, please, sir, my children have not eaten. I said, do you know me? He said, I didn't know you, but going through your profile, I believe you can help me. Okay, what do you say? He said, she said, sir, even if it is just 600 naira. I said, wow, 600 naira. Okay, no problem. The Bible says they just shall live by faith. To tell her to send her account number. I forwarded 1,000 now. If you see the way she was thanking me, thank you, sir. You will never go hungry. You will never do this.
You are able to do that because you are little in your power to do. But we have a lot of people out there who really wish to do, but they can't. And most Nigerians out there, I just want them to see from this angle that the person that you're asking of help from is not that this person is not ready to help, but you don't know what the person is actually going on at the moment. That's being put aside. Now, back to what Afe Babalola said, those that came out during the End Bad Governance protest, those that came out during the hardship protest,
they were speaking nothing but the old truth, but they thought it was political. They knew. Let me tell you this. Don't let me use the word thought this time around. Let's speak the truth and let these people hear. Let's speak senses into their sense. Let me tell you, they knew that there was hunger in the face of the country. Okay, if they said it was political propaganda, when Ooni of Ife said to them in the press conference that they are hungry, they are angry, would they say it was a political propaganda or it was their opponent that was using Ooni of Ife against them?
No.
Didn't he say to them categorically? So are you now telling me the government that refused to hearken to the yearning of the people, are they what to be in power?
No.
And this set of people will still come around. Some set of miscreants, we still see them and say, okay, this is the right man. I'm sorry to have used that language. And you see, one thing about this set of people, I was so wonder why our people are so dull and are so dull in thinking. For instance, now, somebody came around and said, okay, vote for me to become a senator. I want to go and represent your constituency. On getting there, the person will now come around after 4 years and begin to campaign and say, in so community, we did borehole. In so community, we build health center. The health center that don't even have paracetamol.
That is not functioning.
That doesn't even have a single paracetamol.
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C they don't have. And so community, we were able to tie 3-kilometer road.
Go and check it.
Go and check it, and people will hail them. the person that was supposed to be stoned to the point of death, I'm sorry to abuse that language, when he was doing those things, is the money coming directly from his own father's money?
No.
Is it not the money that belongs to the masses?
It is.
Let me tell you this, for you to have come out and say, hey, you my children, I pay your school fees, I've done this, I've done that.
It is your duty.
You are giving yourself, you are giving a self-appraisal to yourself. Is it not your duty? Is it not your responsibility to pay your students fees, to clothe for them, to house them, to make life better for them?
One thing this man just said is, you should know that an angry man can go to any length to express his anger. So you have to do something to make sure that these people do not express their anger beyond what you can actually manage, because these people, now that they decide to stay low on what is going on in Nigeria and doing as if they did not see anything. You know, they just did 10 days protest. And I don't know what is going to come out after this.
After that protest again.
They said something about the National House of Representatives led by Tajuddin Abbas about the bill that was passed then, that if you cannot sing the national anthem, the national pledge, is either you pay 5 million naira,
5 million
or go to prison.
Yes, you know, somebody replied them that they should go and make sure they let them go to the island. Go and do reclamation on the island. When you do reclamation, you have a lot of land to build prison yard where you pass.
So
people.
You know, a lot of people will be there.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Me myself, what is coming from my own point of view is, if you say all Nigerians must be able to sing the national anthem, and it should start from you.
A person, let's forget about starting from them or not starting from them. Let me tell you this: an average man in Nigeria, and the only thing when you wake up in the morning, the only thing you can think of now is how you are going to feed your children, your family, how you are going to shelter them.
Yeah.
Somebody who is hungry, looking for what he's going to eat. Are you telling me the person at my age now, I will now sit down and say, oh, the next thing for me to think of is how to recite the national anthem. Let me go and learn it. If you are talking about the national anthem, you talk about those children that are still in school now, that still have their own, their memory is still fresh, that their brain is still fresh, that they can still absorb on their memory, on their brain, what the national anthem is saying. Not a man that is above 50 years, 60 years now. For instance, now, a 60-year-old man was driving along. Now, he was stopped by the policeman.
Okay.
They asked of his paper, his document. He gave them his document, everything were all intact. They asked for his driving license. Everything was all intact. They now said the next thing you will hear is, sir, sing the national anthem.
That is another thing for the police to start using the collecting money.
A 60-year-old man, even the road safety will come and say, okay, you have your tire, you have your spare tire, you have everything, everything is complete. Sir, sing the national anthem. The 60-year-old man.
All right, though, I just feel Nigeria can actually do better. We are far beyond all these things that we're actually doing presently in Nigeria. For a country that is over 60 years, and we are still
we are on the era of national anthem that has been outdated. Though. Go to America. When BD came in, was there anything like, okay, we are going back to the old national anthem when we start to?
Ever since I've been hearing you say, all I hear is forward ever, backward never.
Their own is to drive the country backward. I don't even know who proposed this to the Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Maybe he was trying to counter somebody by the national anthem or bringing the old national anthem back. What I believe what it should have been its focus was the renewed hope he promised the old Nigerians. This is a renewed hope. Even if our hope are lost, our hope are gone.
We have something that is giving us assurance.
Assurance, okay, let's see how we are going to drive this country forward. Okay, for instance, removing the fuel subsidy, I've never seen it as an offense. But there are many ways to pull out that without shedding blood.
Yeah.
Your policy was like you the family of the house, calling the children, calling the wife. Okay, I want to build a future house for you.
Okay.
Now we are searching. Till the house is going to be accomplished, nobody is going to eat in this family. Whatever you see.
Before the completion of the house, people would have died.
What if the house was completed today and the children have died of starvation?
Who would have
died? Who else is going to live in that house?
Nobody.
It is not bad for them to remove the fuel subsidy. They would have found another means to subsidize. What are the other means? Okay, the fuel subsidy, we are going to be in pain for the period of so 2 months, 3 months. Don't worry, things will get better. What is the reason why we are buying fuel at the outrageous amount there? Because of some set of cabal that sat on the national way that they believe it is their right. Okay, now what are we going to do? The money that we are going to remove from the fuel subsidy that should have been used to pay the fuel subsidy, let's channel the money to one of our refinery.
And make sure it works.
And make sure it works. When Dangote refinery works, together with the one of Port Harcourt, when it works, within 2-3 months, there will be a relief. Because we will no longer use our more money to take our crude oil out of this country, refine it at outrageous amount of money, then bring it back to the country and begin to sell at an outrageous amount.
I just pray Nigeria will work again, and this federal government will think on something more reasonable to do than just giving the poor masses palliative food. I see on social media, you start seeing link, click on this link to get 5,000 naira palliative
you
food
see,
by the federal government.
some set of people
click
now are using that
as
a means of scamming people because they believe Nigerians are hungry. Yeah, anything that will fetch you money now is what you want to do. That if not, let me tell you, it is not that I'm endorsing this set of people Yahoo. I'm not endorsing them. All this fraudster internet. You know they are the one that reduce crime in our society today. We
have crime a lot, but this thing is actually curbing them. But it is not something.
Now, Afebola said, okay, people can no longer access to their farm. The president is not thinking of how they are going to make sure the security of the country ties that people can go back to their farm. There will be food. There will be food in the face of the country. People, okay, those set of people in the northern side of the country that are farming, that they don't have any occupation than to go to their farm, that has been sacked for their farm now.
They can't go because the security is bad. The road is, even road that are leading to the road, okay, fine, we are going to struggle ourselves to get to the road. You get to the road, you see that the farmers are being kidnapped. You start seeing these people asking for huge amount of money from farmers. Where should they get it from? I pray Nigeria will work again. We've come to the end of Let's Talk today. Today being Saturday on WYTV. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, on YouTube, on X account, on TikTok, on Instagram at Wisdom Yard Online TV. Thanks to our sponsor, Nokpa Herbals. Nokpa Herbals deals with Nokpa Herbal Mixture, Herbal Co, Herbal Tonic, Herbal Bitters, Herbal Flusher Powder, Herbal Energy Powder. Thank you, Ambassador Riluwa Rotimi, for joining us here today. So we'll come again on your screen next week. I remain myself, Odunayo Adeliri. Bye for now.